that sound never grows old, let me tell you. John here with MachMotorsport, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And today I'd love to talk to you about the 5 things I absolutely love about my 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Now, if you've been following along the channel, you'll know that I've come from a number of vehicles, but most recently, a Subaru BRZ TS that was prepared specifically for track use and occasional day-to-day use. Now, in buying the Type R, I really was looking for something that would not only be a very good daily driver, which was kind of the primary focus, but on occasion or when I wanted to take it to a lapping event and future pacing, if I wanted to convert it to a track car, I wanted to make sure that whatever it is that I decided to buy was going to be able to check off as many boxes as possible. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 reasons why I love my Honda Civic Type R. Number 1, it is super practical. I mean, I think it goes without saying, because this is built off of a Civic platform, that it is going to be a practical car. However, in addition to having 4 doors, that hatchback really gives you that kind of ultimate versatility. And as of recently, my son and I, we went to Europe, and we were able to pack our suitcases and our carry-ons in the back without having to fold the seats down, without even having to remove the privacy shelf. So, I mean, that is certainly, without a question, probably one of the, biggest things I absolutely love about this car, because it is so practical. Like, fundamentally, this thing, I mean, yes, it doesn't have that 5th passenger, but I typically only carry 3 to 4 people tops, including myself in the car at any given time. And to be quite frank, most of the time it's just me. So, that being said, practicality, number 1. Number 2 on my list would be it's economical. I mean, I can't get over how economical this vehicle is. It is unbelievably economical for the power that this thing produces. And again, leave it to Honda to figure it out, but it is impeccable. I mean, you cannot get any better fuel mileage than this thing gets. It is slightly, and I mean slightly worse than my previous daily WRX. However, this has significantly more performance and feels a lot better. And again, as I said, it's only slightly less. And that's probably because I happen to be on the loud pedal more often than not. And I find myself driving this in comfort mode probably 70% of the time. And I do mixed highway and city driving. And generally speaking, I'm getting anywhere between 7.5 to about 8, low 8 liter per 100 kilometer. I'm not sure what that converts to miles, American friends, but I'll figure it out for you. In any event, this is super, super economical. And I haven't had to do any single maintenance to this since taking ownership. And I've put 12,000, I've got a total of almost 13,000 kilometers on it. So again, I'm very happy with the cost of ownership thus far. All right, number 3. So now this one is kind of a catch-22, and allow me to elaborate. I love the fact that this is quiet. It is a very comfortable car to drive. Because I do mixed highway and city, it's nice to not have all that drone and that unnecessary noise coming from, the exhaust and all that other good stuff. That being said, a little bit of exhaust noise wouldn't be bad, but I do love the fact that in absolutely stock mode, you get 100%, great performance, and it can be modified with the aftermarket, naturally, like anything else. But if you just wanted to have a very good performing, reliable car that did it very quietly, this is going to do it for you. Now, I want to add to that because of what I do as a career, as a realtor, it's already kind of a loud car to begin with when you look at its appearance. So the fact that it's not excessively loud, when I'm showing up to meet with clients, that's an added bonus, because it still maintains a little level of professionalism, provided you don't look very closely at the car. So, that being said, I would say number 3, how quiet and comfortable this car is. Number 4. Now, this one is a little bit, I would say, a little more specific to me. I love all of the nooks and pockets and everything in this car. I spend a lot of time in my car. I've had it, like I said, for basically a month. And in the month that I've had it, I've put, 6,000 kilometers, about 4,000 miles on it. So I put a lot of kilometers on the car. I spend a lot of time sitting in this position. So it's very important to me that it is practical, that I can live in it and not be searching around or having things move around in so many places. I've got the big deep pocket here in the center console for my big drinks. I go to the gym a lot. I love the fact that I've got this deep pocket here, so they fit in there really nicely. You've got wireless charging from a cell phone, which is awesome. The USB and the cord is located in a great place, unlike my WRX, where it was in the center console and it was dangling around everywhere. I love where this is. I love that it's got the little cord stay in there to keep the cord from flopping around. I love the little pockets on the side that I can throw my wallet in there and what have you. The sliding cup holder. All of those things are really, really, really an added bonus for me. And again, that's going to be, kind of more specific to each individual person. But for me, that is the fourth reason I love this car, because of all of its pockets and nooks and crannies and all that other good stuff. It just makes driving this that much more enjoyable. And of course, number 5. And I think it goes without saying that if you own one of these already, you're going to appreciate the fact that this vehicle is really a Jekyll and Hyde scenario. When you want it to be tame, you go click, click, and you're down in comfort mode, and all of a sudden you're getting, really great fuel mileage. The suspension softens up, the steering is nice and light, it feels really good. And that being said, even when you're in sport or even R mode, it's not as if this thing is breaking any bones going over bumps. As a matter of fact, I had test driven a number of vehicles before buying this, one of which was the Ford Focus RS. And even in regular mode, normal mode in that car was stiffer, I would say, than sport or R mode in this car. And the way this handles bumps is absolutely amazing. And if I were to change the suspension, I would probably only go with a set of springs just to reduce the wheel gap, because the engineers have done a really terrific job at dampening this vehicle, and I love the modes, and I think it's well tuned. I think that if you were to really go to a coilover, you're going to need to spend the big dollars in order to improve on what they've done here. So then let's talk about stepping it up into the performance mode, smack it into R mode, and Jesus, this thing is an animal. I mean, it is ferocious. The steering tightens right up. You get a lot of weight in the steering. The suspension gets firm, but not uncontrollable or ridiculously firm. And then, of course, the performance is there on top. The throttle becomes much sharper and crisper, and just every input becomes that much more, jagged. It's right on the knife's edge, I want to say, when you go into R mode, and the car really does come alive. So, at first, I was really missing having that dedicated track car and the rawness of it and everything, because even this in R mode doesn't give you the rawness of a more committed or dedicated track car. However, it does a really good job at being able to be very capable in a competitive or, weekend track scenario, and then throw it down in a sport or comfort mode, and you're going to drive this thing to the grocery store, get that carton of eggs, bag of milk, and then pick up the kiddies from school and drive to work and meet up with clients, and you're going to be able to do it comfortably, all with the flick of a switch within one car. And the best part is I didn't need to modify anything. I didn't need to spend a single dollar. This is the way the car came. So, in closing, those are the top 5 things I absolutely love about my 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Thank you for watching, and as always, please like and subscribe. And at some point, I will make a top 5 things I dislike about the Civic Type R. But truth be told, I've only able to come up with 2. So I got a few to work on. But in any event, stay tuned for that video. And again, guys, till next time, thanks for watching.